Good morning, good evening. Hope whatever you're doing today is going well. I'm just gonna get some cups ready for Bourn Feed up in Columbia. So I've got some mealworms here already sized, already sifted. So they're the appropriate size to cup up, get out to the folks at Bourn Feed. I'm just doing a last minute cleanup here. So I talked about it on a recent podcast, Mealworms and More. I think it was yesterday. Talked through how stressing the mealworms, sifting and sorting, stresses them and will cause them to pupate a little prematurely. And so you can see here, I do have some smaller pupa. That's okay. These guys are normal. They just got stressed yesterday when all that was happening. No worries though, they'll be all right. I'm going to put them in with the other pupa. One thing I do want to mention is I've turned off all the fans. The only thing you do here is the heater, just keeping it nice and toasty in here. But I've got all the fans off. There should be very little movement at this point. But anytime you're working with your mealworms, always wear a mask. The frass, you can see some of that here. It's real fine. It's going to aerosol and get into the air. So always be mindful, wear a mask to avoid allergies. Either developing or triggering. So if you have allergies, frass will trigger them. If you don't have allergies yet, you are awesome. Keep it that way and continue to wear a mask. Oh, I need some more cups. Some more cups. Used some of the previous cups that came back that didn't sell. No worries, we'll get those all squared away. So I've got this sifter here, and all I'm going to do is get some of this frass out of here. I want mealworm weight, not frass weight. So throw it in here, sift some of that out, keep it low, and then just get it into a easy to use container here. Check this for any mealworms that might be stuck before I put it back. All right, everything gets weighed out, so I don't count these individually. That would take a long time. Should have put one of those on there. And all I'm going to do is fill these, each one, with the standard amount. Let's get this switched up here. There we go. As far as how much these weigh, everybody's mealworms will be different as far as weight. So what I strongly encourage everybody to do, if you're out there raising your own or trying to figure out how to sell these, you are going to have to put in the effort to manually count every so often. Try to aim for about every 3 months because the size is going to vary. And what you don't want is you don't want to put a 500 count value out there and have somebody actually count them. Believe it or not, it happens. So always weigh your own. So mine has fluctuated a little bit over the years. That's the reason I know that, and that's the reason I recommend it, is just based on what you're raising and how things are going, size will vary. You want to make sure that your devices, like your scales, are weighing correctly as well. That way, there's never any question about how many you're putting in here. Because if you had to manually count these, that would be way too much time. Way too much time. And in the small business world, time is money. So in order to keep this sustainable, you got to put some processes in place. And that's just one of the things that helps. So I'm just getting these counted out. I had to sift a bit more, get a bit more mealworms out here, keep things going. These guys are a little sluggish this morning. They ate yesterday after they got sifted and sized, and then they went into the fridge just to calm them down a little bit, slow them down. That also helps to reduce pupation sometimes, so that you have less to adjust to later. All right, so I'm done with those. I just put those back in that container. I'm going to grab some wheat bran. every container gets wheat bran in it. That way they've got something to chew on, something to keep them, get a little bit of volume in there so that they're not just all over each other. Just a scoop in each cup. These are 12-ounce cups. I usually use 8-ounce cups. I ordered, a couple months ago, I ordered in bulk and got, I ordered the 8-ounce option, but the 12-ounce showed up. And at the time, I was running low. That was my fault. Should have prepared and planned better, but I was running low and I needed to get an order out, so I went ahead and used the 12-ounce. So I couldn't return them, unfortunately, even though they were in bulk like that. But that's okay. That was my fault for not staying up to speed. So these are 500 count. So I'm going to put 500 count lids on there. So these are just from the mealworms that haven't sold in the past. Not everything sells, which is totally fine. But I do reuse these. Saves on plastic going into the trash. Saves on labels. Ooh, I put 2 on there. Sorry. And as long as there's no oddities, right? Like anytime you take something back from a place that you're selling it from, you want to make sure that nothing's happened to it, nothing's been spilled on it, nothing's, looks odd about it. The folks at Bourn Feed are amazing, so they take really good care of these. I'm going to get these cleaned up. You can see a little bit of like wheat bran dust on some of these, so I'll vacuum those. Before I do that, I'm going to put my mask on because I'm kind of done with everything that needs to be done here. So I'll get these cleaned up, get them back in the fridge, and get them delivered out to Bourn Feed. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. Happy to help. Hope you enjoyed.